Bohus Fortress lies along the old Norwegian-Swedish border in Kungälv, Bohuslän, Sweden, northeast from Hisingen, where the Göta river splits into two branches north of Gothenburg. It commands the surrounding area from a cliff 40 meters high, with the river forming a natural moat around it. Initial construction. The construction of Bohus Fortress began in 1308 under King Håkon V Magnusson, King of Norway from 1299 to 1319. Håkon V also initiated construction of Norwegian fortresses at Akershus and Vardøs as part of a broader defensive policy. At the time, Bohuslän was Norwegian territory and served as the main Norwegian defense against Sweden along the coast, as well as the strongpoint for the Bohuslän region from 1308 to 1658. Medieval castle. According to architect Guttorm Kavli, by 1310, records show it was constructed, as normal for the period, out of granite and brick, perhaps under the guidance of Count Jacob of Halland. By 1450, it included a continuous surrounding wall, 3 meters thick at the base, with a height which varied from 8.5 to 13.5 meters, varying with the terrain. It was approximately rectangular, with 4 rectangular corner towers. At the eastern end there was a brick tower, and in the center of the west side a gatehouse and drawbridge. Along the inside of the surrounding wall, buildings were located which among other things included the King's Hall, the castle commander's residence, the chapel, the guardroom, the barracks and the kitchen. The fortress had secure vaulted positions, partly cut into the mountain, and beyond that strong outerworks. At the time, Bohus was Norway's strongest fortress. The approaches were very difficult and the area to be defended was small, only 250 by 150 meters, so it did not require a large defensive force. Fortress. The fortress was attacked and besieged 14 times, but was never captured. During the Northern Seven Years' War in 1563 to 1570, it was seriously damaged. This occurred in 1566, when 250 Swedish soldiers successfully stormed the northeasternmost tower. The Norwegian commander sent in a volunteer to blow up the ammunition stores underneath the tower, killing the Swedes and repelling the attack. As a reward, the family of the volunteer got a piece of land which is still owned by the descendants of this volunteer. The Norwegians rebuilt the fortress of stone and brick, and reinforced it substantially. The reconstruction immediately after the war was directed by Hans Paske from the Netherlands. In 1593 to 1604, similar to the construction then undertaken at Akershus in Oslo, Bohus was upgraded to a bastion fortress. A new outer fortification was raised. This construction was one of the early works of Hans van Steenwinckel, also from the Netherlands, who later became noted for his Dutch Renaissance-style design in Denmark. As Swedish invasions continuously threatened Norwegian Bohuslän during this time period, the improvement of the fortifications went on for years. For example, starting in the summer of 1651 and until the autumn of 1652, the Dutch engineer Isaac van Geelkerk supervised the construction of 2 corner towers along the south facade and a new ring wall that was constructed around the Arsenal building. Lost to Sweden. Under the terms of the Treaty of Roskilde in 1658, Denmark-Norway ceded the Danish provinces of Scania, Blekinge and Halland and the Norwegian provinces Trondelag and Bohuslän. After Denmark-Norway ceded the territory which included Bohus Fortress, Fredriksen Fortress was constructed in Fredrikshald on the newly established Norwegian-Swedish border. Since the Bohus Fortress fortress no longer lay on the border. It was of small use to Sweden, which relied on the existing Bohus Fortress at Gothenburg and the new Karlstad fortress built at Marstrand prison. Instead, the fortress was used as a prison. The most noted prisoner was the radical pietist Thomas Leopold, who spent 42 years of his life behind bars, 32 of those at Bohus, for his alleged heresies. His stone-clad cell still exists in the castle. Modern times. At the end of the 18th century it was decided that the now unused fortress should be demolished. Demolition crews worked at the fortress for 2 months. After that, the money allocated for the job had run out. Residents of the nearby town of Kungälv used the dressed stone from the fortress to build houses. However, much of the fortress is still intact, including the large northern tower, Farshat. As of 2015, the fortress is a museum open to visitors during summer.